That was all you doing this.
No.
I promise. I'm not in training. I don't gotta keep doing all that.
He's pacing at his own pace anyway. That ain't the fast pace.
Boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter.
Terence Crawford enters Shakur Stevenson's training camp and delivers focused, high-level advice. He stresses the importance of using intelligent angles, staying relaxed on defense, and picking clean counters to mentally outmaneuver Teofimo Lopez. Crawford explains how these details can help Shakur stay in control round after round while fighting with confidence and clarity.
No. I want you to pull. Good. Good. Stay in your rhythm, champ. Stay in your rhythm. Your rhythm, your time, your fight. Let's go.
You trying hard? Good drive. This effort. That's cool. You want to work on this nigga?
Shakur Stevenson pushes through intense drills and sharpens speed, timing, and defense for the Teofimo Lopez clash, while Terence Crawford watches carefully, studying each move and planning smarter strategies inside camp.
Yeah, that's the second time that happened to you. And I ain't even touch your body.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Shakur Stevenson grinds through demanding training sessions, sharpening his speed, timing, and defensive awareness as he prepares for the Teofimo Lopez fight. Terence Crawford watches closely from ringside, carefully observing each movement, evaluating reactions, and helping develop smarter in-ring strategies throughout camp.
So the best of the best. That goes for everybody. For everybody. That goes for everybody. I don't put him at the pound for pound over everybody. Now you figure out whoever you think the best, he the best.
Shakur's coach makes it clear that fear isn't part of their mindset. He describes Shakur as a fighter willing to face anyone, anytime, and says his confidence comes from accepting every challenge and being ready to compete against absolutely anyone put in front of him.
People that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
It's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's gonna be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses.
Terence Crawford remains present inside Shakur's camp, offering guidance that goes beyond technique. He shares experience like an older brother, helps shape strategic decisions, and motivates Shakur with calm reassurance and steady leadership built on years at the highest level.
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like taking?
Terence Crawford praises Shakur Stevenson openly, pointing out his exceptional skill set and high-level ring intelligence. He addresses critics who label Shakur as boring, explaining that those opinions often come from people who don't truly understand the craft. Crawford emphasizes that Shakur's precision, control, and strategic mastery deserve far more appreciation.
Like a black kind of thing, like, no like, it's like, you know, like when you go to cookouts and all your family be sitting there playing spades, and like our type culture, I guess.
While working inside Shakur Stevenson's camp, Terence Crawford teaches a wide range of techniques, stressing the importance of learning something valuable from every fighter. He explains that growth comes from picking up small tricks, adapting styles, and staying open to new approaches inside the ring.
It's some other ways it could go, but a lot of people think it's gonna be. It could possibly be boring. I don't think it's gonna be a boring fight. I think Teo knows he has to step up. I think this is his fight. I think it's Shakur's fight to lose, and what I mean by that is if Shakur doesn't operate, if Shakur is caught sleeping, something bad could happen. It's his fight to lose, but I think it's also Teo's fight to win. And what I mean by that is if Teo performs the way that he can perform, and I know that's like an empty message, but
we never know.
All that said, like, it could actually be a really great fight. I expect a great fight.
And I hope this fight, I'm gonna let you go last because I respect you. Every time I'm in an argument, we talked about what we talked about for the show. We all disagreement. I said, boy, I call Sean Zartel right now and eat your ass up. But I ain't one. But I hope Teo and Shakur starts the year off big and actually builds the sport of boxing for have a great year. I felt like I was let down last year in sport of boxing. I don't know how y'all felt. I just felt like we had a lot of open stuff that...
Sean Porter breaks down the upcoming matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, stating that it is a fight Stevenson has the tools to control. He describes it as Shakur's fight to lose, explaining that if Stevenson performs at his best, he can set the tempo and dictate how the bout unfolds. Porter acknowledges that boxing is always unpredictable, but believes Stevenson's preparation and skill give him a noticeable advantage. He adds that the fight has the potential to be exciting and meaningful for the sport, possibly setting the tone for the year ahead. Porter also reflects on the previous year in boxing, saying it felt unfinished and lacking proper closure, and hopes this matchup can help bring renewed momentum and purpose. While showing respect to both fighters, he emphasizes that it will ultimately be up to Stevenson to execute his game plan in this major opportunity.
Again, sometimes the closest route isn't always the fastest route. You got a guy that likes to stay on the center line, a guy that's a master at controlling range. Okay? So many people fall into the understanding that because the straighter punch can get there, they believe faster, it's the shorter route to the target, that's the best and most effective weapon. No, it's not. It's not. So the one thing about hooks are in frame and then out of frame. In frame, check this out. Check this out. Back in frame. So that moment, that small little moment where it's in frame, out of frame, back in frame, it gets to the straight line a lot quicker than straight punches. The punch that I'm worried about for Shakur getting hit with the most from Teo, and he's devastating with this punch, is the left hook.
Tim Bradley explains that the most direct path is not always the fastest or smartest option in boxing. He points out that when facing an opponent who stays centered and controls distance effectively, throwing straight punches may seem logical but isn't always ideal. Bradley says many fighters mistakenly believe the shortest route automatically makes a punch more effective. He highlights the hook as a smarter alternative, describing how it briefly enters an opponent's vision, disappears, then reappears at the target. This movement can allow the punch to land faster than a straight shot in certain situations. Bradley specifically warns about the left hook, explaining that it can be a dangerous weapon if timed correctly, making angles and positioning just as important as speed.
That I feel like Shakur is probably gonna start stepping up, and Teo's gonna try to hit him, and it's not gonna work. And then Shakur might start. The thing about Shakur is a very good, a real good counterpuncher, really sharp, real sharp with the counterpunch. He sneaks those punches in, you know, and that's the ones that hurt the most when he just sneaking them in when you're not supposed to hit them. So I definitely feel like, I feel like Shakur is gonna beat him comfortably. Not knockout, but comfortable 12 rounds for sure.
Have you sparred Lopez before?
I never sparred Teo though. Never sparred Teo.
Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. That definitely makes sense. Who do you think is gonna win that fight?
I got Shakur for sure. Shakur.
Do you think he wins this comfortably, or do you think it'll be a close fight?
I think he wins it comfortably. Yeah, I think he wins it comfortably. I think you know, Shakur. I think the thing is about Teo is very good athletically, but he's weak-minded. You know, you can see in some fights he's struggling. Teo does struggle. You know, now he does come up for big fights. Lomachenko, he came up. Josh Taylor, he came up. But a lot of fights, man, he struggles. You know, he does struggle on a whole lot of fights and stuff. Like, I think he looked good. Yeah, he looked good against Barboza. But like I said, for the most part, Teo does struggle. And I think he struggles mentally with a lot of things. But I think with Shakur, I think Shakur's going to break him. I think maybe the first two or three rounds, it might be a close fight. You know, it might be close. It might be 2-1.
Regis Prograis points to Shakur Stevenson's advantage in both mental strength and technical ability when compared to Teofimo Lopez. He acknowledges Lopez's athleticism and natural talent but notes that Lopez has struggled at times with focus, consistency, and maintaining the right mindset under pressure. Prograis explains that Stevenson's calm approach, sharp thinking, and precise execution give him a clear edge, especially when it comes to anticipating moves and making adjustments during the fight. He believes that relying on raw ability alone won't be enough to overcome Stevenson's disciplined and structured style. Prograis emphasizes that mental toughness often outweighs physical gifts, and in this matchup, Stevenson appears more composed, consistent, and strategically prepared.
TV friendly because it depends on, you know, which either guy, what game they come with concerning is Shakur going to use nothing but his legs? Is Teo going to do just enough because Shakur may offset him a bit and give him a look that he never seen before? I have Shakur winning. I think Teo, concerning explosiveness, he get it. Rapid speed, he get it. But I think when it comes to the craft and fundamentals, you have to go with Shakur. To me, he's a lot more seasoned. And plus, I just believe Teofimo, he makes mistakes to me you just can't make when you're fighting Shakur. Like what? You can't be overcommitting. You can't approach his offense range with your lead hand down, especially since Shakur is a southpaw. Because that means if you're orthodox and you're approaching Shakur with your lead hand down, you're actually closer to his jab hand. And we all know Shakur got one of the best jabs, especially from a southpaw standpoint. But it's going to be a good fight. The card is incredible by itself. You know what I mean? We already know how the card is. We got Keyshawn on it, Jarrell Miller on it, Shushu Carrington's so, you know, it's a great card, but I'm going with Shakur for the win.
Okay, with that being said, then what does Teo got to do to win?
He has to get Shakur up. How would I say this? I don't want to just make it seem like come across as if Shakur is novice, but the times that Shakur is putting himself against the ropes, this is the time that Teofimo is going to have to depend on his explosiveness. He's going to have to depend on his offset lead right hands. He's going to have, but even doing that, everything with Teo comes off his front foot, his explosiveness, his speed, everything. So it's almost like whenever the times he gets Shakur up against the rope, he got to pick his shots well, but then after that, he have to be ready to defend, because with Shakur, the return is always...
Malik Scott analyzes the potential matchup between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson by breaking down how their strengths could shape the fight. He highlights Lopez's speed and athleticism, noting that these qualities can make him explosive and unpredictable. However, Scott explains that those traits alone may not be enough against a technically sound and strategically sharp fighter like Stevenson. He points out that Shakur's ability to read opponents, control the pace, and capitalize on openings could cancel out Lopez's physical advantages. Scott emphasizes that timing, decision-making, and ring intelligence often matter more than pure athleticism, suggesting Stevenson holds the advantage if he executes his plan correctly.
With certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that
a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Cepeda, you know, being elusive while being aggressive, you know, walking them down, fighting on the inside, you know, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight, and it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about, and they wanted to see.
Teddy Atlas speaks out in defense of both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, addressing the criticism they have faced throughout their careers. He explains that public opinion often overlooks the dedication, discipline, and effort fighters put into their craft. Atlas notes that both men have been misunderstood at times and unfairly judged based on limited moments rather than their full body of work. He highlights Stevenson's composure and strategic intelligence, alongside Lopez's athletic ability and fighting instincts. Atlas urges fans to look beyond surface-level opinions and appreciate the complexity of preparation, mental challenges, and decision-making that define a fighter's journey.
Maybe a glimpse or two.
Why?
And one, Shakur said it himself after that fight that he wasn't going to fight like that again. And that's the main reason. He said he wasn't going to do it. And
Teo's cracking like that?
To 140, which is really, huh?
Is Teo cracking?
No, I don't think. I think he had more of a threat with the Cepeda as a puncher and Teofimo. But he's going up a weight class. That's not naturally his weight class as well.
You think that'll play a factor?
No, that would play a factor in him not fighting Pac.
Jermaine Ortiz shares his perspective on the upcoming fight, focusing on Shakur Stevenson's development as a fighter. He explains that Shakur has learned valuable lessons from previous bouts and is unlikely to repeat past mistakes. Ortiz notes that in earlier fights, Stevenson sometimes pushed forward too aggressively without fully managing distance, creating unnecessary risks. He believes this fight will showcase a more disciplined version of Shakur, one who carefully controls range, timing, and positioning to stay effective while limiting danger.
Moving around, making sure that
in and out,
doing things that Teo don't like.
He got longer arms. You know, I think he'll just keep him. He'll keep him at bay. You know, Teo's a tricky fighter too, so not saying that he can't, you know, slip in and catch him with a couple shots. But Shakur, I think he's gonna be defensively sound. He doesn't like getting hit, and I think he's gonna stick to that.
You know, as far as Shakur is concerned and Teo, when you look at the speed, when you look at the timing, who do you feel like has that edge when it comes down to that? It could be separate. It could be somebody got the speed and somebody else got the timing. But when you look at those...
Ortiz adds that Stevenson's ability to read opponents and adjust during the fight has improved significantly. He credits this growth to Shakur's dedication to studying his opponents and applying lessons from both wins and losses. According to Ortiz, this maturity allows Stevenson to stay calm under pressure, land clean counters, and avoid reckless exchanges. If he applies these principles correctly, Ortiz believes Stevenson will hold a clear advantage over Lopez. That brings us to the end of today's video. Stay tuned for what's coming next.